Katrina, let's start off with this news about Nvidia. The export controls from the Trump administration, the company warning it's going to cost them about $5.5 billion. We're seeing a broad tech sell-off. What does that tell you about what's going forward in the trading day ahead, or what could it tell you about what's going forward in the trading day ahead?
I think what it's telling us is we are in the process of bottoming, and that is a process that we are optimistic about because we look at the signals. We think that the Trump put is there, and we saw that with the commentary and the rolling back of the tariff narrative. So that's the first part that underlies that kind of bottoming out narrative. The second is we are increasingly hearing signs that there's a Fed put now that's a little more tentative, but we're looking at it from a signaling perspective. And then finally, from a buy signal, the market is bearish. And they're those times when the news is bad, people are very bearish, and you have to weigh from an analytical perspective whether it's time to step in. And we're advocating that, yes, this is a buy signal, and the market is in that process of bottoming.
All right, well, just to your point of some of the bearishness right now, I want to point out futures in the red. NASDAQ, the hardest hit again on that Nvidia news. NASDAQ futures down about 1.25%. So you're mentioning the Fed right now. Coming up later today, we got that retail sales report. What are your expectations? How do you think it impacts the market? And is it even factored into the Fed decision?
So firstly, I think you had some commentary and you were talking before about the fact that people are looking for a pull forward of sales. And I believe that that is what we are likely to see in a positive number from the retail sales. I also think that the consumer is still, even though the narrative and what they're talking about on a forward basis is fairly pessimistic and it's reflecting of that bearish sentiment, I do think that the consumer is still spending, and retail sales is a nominal number as well. So you're looking at a volume of sales potentially being slightly down because we've seen price increases, but we're actually fairly bullish in terms of the ability of the sales number to at least meet expectations. The number is looking at around 1.2%. I didn't address your question on Nvidia, and I think that that's such an interesting perspective on the trade. And obviously, as you go into the trading day today, seeing such a large decline in some of these big tech names. But let's look at the positive. Nvidia also yesterday announced a significant investment into the United States. And I do think that that is one of the key messages that Trump is looking for out of these trade negotiations. It is reinvesting in the United States and bringing jobs back and supporting our middle class. Right. And that's another factor that's going to be positive for retail sales and for the general economy.
All right, Katrina, I want to get to your word of the day. Your word of the day is quality. You also have a pick for us, which I would assume you see as a quality way to invest right now.
Look, in terms of quality, what we're talking to our investors is go to your advisors and take a look at your portfolios, because I do think that people have not been quite so objective in looking at their portfolios. And we suggest that this is an opportunity with the market decline to upgrade the quality of your portfolios. And so what we're looking at is, a focused growth ETF is a way we think of upgrading quality and also getting exposure to what we see is increasing market breadth. So we look at, the focus growth is not as exposed to names like the Mag 7. It's actually a broader, growth index. And I think that that's where we're looking for investors to put their money. And as I said, I go back to that bottoming narrative. This is the type of investment that'll benefit.